Welcome back to the second half of the Bobby Dupre Show, and of course my sidekick here, Andrew.
Well, good morning.
We had a pretty busy first half. Most of our pictures have been taken care of, but we do have one more that you want to show, and that's the event at the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, run that tape for us. It's the Elks Lodge gave a nice donation to provide for a fun day for all the kids and the boys and girls over at the Boys and Girls Club over here in Annapolis. You know, they've had some funding issues there, and they decided to try to help out. And you see some of the folks there, Charles Lognon over on the right. I saw our leader there, Butch Barron, a little early, and Dr. Ken LaFleur as well. But you can see they got fun jumps. The police department came out and showed them how they ride those bikes around through the obstacle courses. I know Chief Perry Gallo himself is out there riding around as well.
And he took the big bike.
That's right. I know the Sheriff's Department was there with their equipment as well, and they were there with the boats that the Sheriff's Department uses for retrieval of folks out there. There's Chief Perry Gallo, who won the best of the best law enforcement guy as well. But we want to thank the Elks Lodge, and I think it's a great thing they did to try to help out the Boys and Girls Club.
And while we're talking about the local Opelousas Elks Lodge, which is a very active organization, I might add, they just had Veterans Day, and they just went around and visited the nursing homes and gave little gifts to the veterans. And they do a lot of work. Blanc Ordway handles that event every year, and I bet you didn't get to go, did you? I didn't get to go, and I bet he's upset with us because we usually, one of us try to be there. But they understand that it's hard, but the lodge is recently hired. You know, Lindsay Lee has recently retired. He's still a member, of course, of the Elks Lodge, but they've hired a new club cook manager, and his name is Nicholas LaFleur. He goes by the name of Nick, and they're encouraging Butch Barron, who is the exalted ruler right now, the leader. He is, reminding everybody to go by, give him a little encouragement, and give him a little time, and hopefully he can work right into. He'll never fill the shoes of Lindsay Lee. Actually, they are related, not first cousin or anything, but they're closely related. They all raised kind of together. And his experience, and where I met him, was at Cafe Opera, which is Lindsay Lee's brother and his brother's wife that own Cafe Opera in downtown Washington, Louisiana, in the former building of the Leon Wolf store.
Wolf building.
Okay, good enough. Good story there.
What else we got? We got some sponsors. How about LHC Group? All your home health care needs. LHC Group can help you with the nurses, with the rehab folks, with the therapy folks. They can help you in your house with the equipment, the oxygen type stuff, the beds that lift, the chairs that lift as well. They've also got palliative care and hospice care available to you as well. They've got the Health and Wellness Center here off of Heather Drive, and they're located all over the country. Louisiana Healthcare Group's all about helping people, but no matter where your family happens to be, there's probably a local branch of Louisiana Healthcare Group that can help you.
And we continually talk about them being involved in the community. Well, they're also involved in the community in a way that maybe some of the people are not aware, and that's in the horse racing industry. Sure. They breed their own horses there, they raise them, and have a nice staff there. Annie, she's now Annie Bork. Annie Annie Caillouette Bork is the farm manager, and you'd be surprised how many young ladies are heavily involved in the horse racing industry. I
saw they won a $100,000 race during the Legends group.
That's what I was reading.
Oh yeah.
She Annie actually delivered this young horse here, and you know who else works for him? Floyd Guidry. Remember Floyd at
Toby's Little Lodge for years? Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. And talking about Toby's Little Lodge,
yes.
Wayne Doucette, I called Wayne. I said, what's upcoming? You got any bands coming up? July the 7th, which is this Saturday, starting at 8 p.m. There's some good dancing music. The name of the band is Bayou Rhythms, and he guarantees you're going to pass a good time right here at Toby's Little Lodge, and that's in the bar section. And they've made some improvements to it. They've cleaned it all up. It's really looking good.
Plenty of parking.
And plenty of safe off the street parking, which is critical today. And on the debt side, a lady that I used to know very, very well, I grew up in their, I guess, backyard, so to speak. I'm speaking of Miss Rosalie Graffanina Pepitone. She and her husband, Mr. Frank Pepitone, who at one time was a city councilman here in Opelousas years ago, and they had the Pepitone grocery store on the corner of South Street and Academy Street, across from where Williams Life Insurance and Funeral Home is located. Miss Pepitone was age 92. Survivors include her brother, Frank Graffanina Jr., who I know Mr. Frank, and her sister, Josephine Persica. And of course, her nephew also survives, Manuel Persica, who I know very, very well, and he married Camellia Restweber from Port Barry. And they had Camille's restaurant for years over in on Highway 190.
In Irwinville.
Irwinville,
I had to go to Gainesville, Florida to meet her, if you remember.
That's right. And one of her nephews is Dr. F.J. Graffanina. And of course, F.J., that's Frank, and we call him Graff. And that's Dr. Graff, and he lives in Houma, Louisiana. My deepest sympathies. Two more that I just recognized somebody in the obituary notice, and I'm speaking of Robert Joseph Broussard Sr., better known as Bruce, not Bruce our barber here in town, but another Bruce from right next door in Ville Platte. And one of his daughters is Jackie Marie Reed, and her husband is Clary Reed. Many of us know when I say Clary Reed, he worked for many years at American Bank here in Opelousas, Louisiana. He now works offshore, the last time I saw him. Our sympathies to the family. And Miss Thelma Zarang, another person who, from the Leonville area, she was 83. And I recognized one of her sisters named Hazel Riley and her husband Joe Riley. Joe and Miss Hazel used to own the Dairy Queen here in Opelousas. Before that, he worked for Bodemullers for many, many years. So local people, our deepest sympathies on their recent passage.
You go. And how about a couple more sponsors? Let's go with Piggly Wiggly. Go to your local Piggly Wiggly here in town. You know, the 4th of July we're just past it now. I bet they got a whole bunch of those good meats that you tried for 4th of July are still available. Some of those good spare ribs that they've had. All kind of great stuff for grilling right now this summer. They've got 3 locations, Opelousas, 2 in Opelousas, 1 in Simsport, what they like to call the 3 Little Pigs. They also do catering at their South Side store here in Opelousas. Ask for Joey Quibido when you go by. They can help you out. Piggly Wiggly.
Spoke to Kim Fontenot recently, who has left the utilities company. I think it was Entergy possibly?
Correct.
That he was with, and is now working with the city of Opelousas. I said, how's mom and daddy? He says, Daddy's good. I said, I see him outside in the yard. He says, yep, 91 years young and still out there all the time. Good morning to all of the Fontenots over there on Heather Drive. Good morning, Kim.
How about one more sponsor? We'll hit the Quarters Casino. If you go down or up, depending on which way you're going, I-49 North, exit 23, right there along the interstate, you can get some of that good Chevron fuel. They got diesel, they got gasoline. If you're an 18-wheeler, plenty of area for you to get in, get out. If you're a car, you don't have to worry about the 18-wheelers even getting close to you because they got their own big section. It's a big travel plaza. Get crispy, crunchy chicken inside. Great convenience store there. They've also got El Pico de Gallo Mexican restaurant and cantina with 2-for-1 margaritas with your meal. Open Monday through Sundays from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. The restaurant is. And they've got gaming. It's the Quarters Casino. Go by and tell Pat Willis we said howdy.
What about we learned something new, Andrew and I today, and we were trying to get the pronunciation of Brad Keselowski. Well, he looked it up on the computer, and sure enough, you know a lot about the computer, but you learned something new today.
I found a website just to teach you how to pronounce athletes' names.
Can you do it right away, real quick?
I don't know if I can.
I'm still not sure.
Try.
It's Kesloski is how it sounds. That's not how it's spelled. But anyhow, he won another race, NASCAR race, that is, over in the Kentucky race this past weekend, and he entered all three, the truck, the nationwide, and the sprint. He entered all three and, of course, won the sprint race and placed in the others in the top 10. Right. And this is his third race he wins this year, and yet he's ranked in the top 12. He's still not sure to be a sure shot in the sprint finals.
Let's see if Mark can hear this. You ready, Mark?
Brad Keselowski.
What a deal, huh? Isn't that nice?
That's pretty good. Did you hear it, Brad? Okay, good.
That's thenamengine.com. If you're trying to hunt down how to pronounce somebody in sports, thenamengine.com. Pretty slick.
What about the Hornets? The Hornets have landed the big #1 pick this year in the last week's NBA.
The freshman from Kentucky in the NBA draft.
Right.
The unibrow, fear the brow.
What, he's 1 inch shorter than 7 foot.
But his eyebrows connect. He doesn't, they always would stay on and say, you need to fix that where it looks like you only got one eyebrow. He says, that's going to be my trademark. He's trademarked fear the brow. Instead of it being a weakness, he's turning around, he's making it a strength, part of his marketing gimmick.
And
fear the brow.
Then they also had another first-round choice, and they picked Austin Rivers
from Duke.
Real good. I saw both of these play.
His daddy, Austin Rivers' daddy, is Doc Rivers, who people know from playing with the Atlanta team Hawks, but now he's the coach of the Celtics.
That's right.
So he's got a good pedigree, this young man.
Good pedigree, and that's going to be.
You just missed that.
Tuesday night, Tigalo was playing again, but at Casa Azul in Gran Coto, you can pick up your DVDs. They're on hand for sale.
Of Tigalo, which is the history of horse racing in South Louisiana.
That's correct. Very good. For $20, if you're not satisfied, just call me up and I'll send you your check.
Cool. Bobby Dupre money back guarantee.
Money back guarantee. Miss Connie Castillo from right there in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, is the producer of this. She spent 3.5 years researching it and putting it together. And it's about an hour and 10 minutes long. And I can tell you one thing, even Vicky's daddy, she said her daddy watched it and he had tears in his eyes.
He knows most of those people involved over the years.
Not saying know him personally, but he rode horses. He and Vicky worked 900 head of cattle, open range, and hogs at the same time, so they really rode horses hard with the Catahoula dogs and all of that. I mean, real cowboy and cowgirl. And anyhow, I guarantee you go by there and you get it, and if you don't like it, I'll give you your $20 back.
How about congratulations to Ms. Vicky? I heard she got a promotion.
That's correct. She sure did. Mr. Jerry Smith, by the way, has retired. Mr. Jerry, congratulations to you. He spent 46 years working with the state. And the timing of his retirement was perfect. Vicky was in line for it. She put in her application, and I was happy to see it. I guess I'm prejudiced, but she works real hard, and I've been with her at quite a number of places where she has been the inspector there, and they all have a lot of respect and they like her, and that's good, because you don't want to fear your health inspector. You want to
better work with them. That if you have something wrong, you better work with them. Feel like they're trying to help you.
You can call them, you can go see them, you can ask them to come by and give you some ideas of how to correct something that was criticized and all of that. Vicky will do that for you.
Hello, we'll see you on the other side of 3.
And of course, this past week, they had a big affair. Horses and Harmony was held Thursday night over at the Evangeline Downs Event Center. A big crowd, and they didn't have a necktie on him. No, I didn't think they had put a necktie on him. My friend Don Simmons. Don, congratulations. I heard a lot of good things at the track. I was not able to be there. We were working over at the